All set.
Cool. Hello, everybody. My name is Alex Bissett, and welcome to Nerds Corner, is what I would say if I was filming my podcast. This is my final talk, and I hope you enjoy it. That worked. Okay. So a survey taken in January of 2020 showed that there was a 93% increase over the 2019 total number of anxiety screenings during the height of the global pandemic. Isn't that weird? If you think about it, you're not alone. Like everyone, there was a 93% increase across the US. It's difficult to process. Doesn't that make you guys question it? So I began to wonder, why? Why all this anxiety? I mean, other than a literal disease that we had no idea about. But I figured, what would be the cause? Why would we be so anxious? So I decided, okay, let's look into this. And so I figured, okay, maybe no one had anywhere to turn. Maybe you live alone. Maybe you don't have any pets. Maybe you really just are struggling with your mental health in general before the pandemic. So I have a question for you guys before I continue. Where would you turn? How would you turn during this pandemic? Where did you turn? Because we all had to turn somewhere. Speaking from personal experience, as we can see here, I turned to technology. Technology was something that helped me keep in contact with my family, my friends, and most importantly, keep me mentally sane, because otherwise I don't know where my sanity would have went. So as you can see, this is us being goofballs over technology. So thank you to that for helping us stay in contact. It really made me stay afloat. And I mean this in the least cheesy way possible. Friends are really your support system. Friends are going to be there, and no matter where they are, it helps. So let's start with the project. What did I make of this? At the start of this project, I wanted people to be aware that even though technology may help, teens may not be getting the same benefits to their mental health with online friendships as they would with their in-person friendships. So I went to study. So we started with the need. And the need, which is wanting those friendships, creates the ideas. And so I went back to my personal experiences pre-COVID. I looked at all my friendships, what was important in friendships, the connections that were built from them. And obviously, it didn't help that I had my siblings who don't live with me. I had my friends who were stuck in their own houses, and I had my job, which was pretty much canceled because of COVID-19. My summer camp, we had to shut down. Well, we had to not let as many kids in. We couldn't see as many people, and it really hurt experiences. I missed them, you know what I mean? We missed friends, we missed friendships, we missed everything before the pandemic. And we're not alone. An adolescent can begin this developmental period in one school with one peer group, but then be forced to transition to at least one other, if not more schools, before turning 18. Each school shift may result in peer group changes, new or limited social opportunities, and added challenges to the adolescent's identity crisis stage. The changes in school environment can also lead to increases in anxiety and mood swings. And that's from Nancy Piotrowski. I think Nancy had it right here. I mean, obviously we're not talking about moving schools literally, but we're talking about shifting from remote school or from in-person schools to remote schools, which no one expected, no one was ready for, and clearly it had a toll. So an idea was formed from said need. And my friend group started to do group meetings. We started to meet over Discord, we started to FaceTime each other more, we started to try to find ways to connect and keep connected so that we would understand and still be able to hang out with each other and still be able to see each other. But then it became something more. and Nerds Corner podcast was born. Thank you to WZID, one, for letting me in their studio, and two, to all the people who volunteered and were so excited to be a part of this project. I really could not have done it without all of those people, and I don't know where I'd be without them. So finally we were born. Nerds Corner was a thing and is on Spotify, so you should go check it out. Shameless plug. Thank you, Catherine Maurer, for the idea. So now that we had the idea inspired creation. We started actually meeting. Podcasts actually started happening. We developed a system where we would all come in and have guiding questions and talk to each other and be present with one another and still find a way to keep social distance, whether it be virtual or in person, but we started in person. And this immediately started to affect my mental health. And according to my friends, it helped theirs too. So this was their mood. I asked all my friends to fill out a survey before our sessions and after our sessions. This was the before our sessions chart, and obviously on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being, wow, life's not really fun right now, or 5 being, I am on top of the world. And as you can see here, we have 20% of them said that they were feeling about a 2, 20% of them said that they were feeling about a 3, 40% of them felt like they were about a 4, and 20% felt like a 5. And as you can see, after the podcast, it got better, which meant there was something happening. Mental health was being experimented on, and there were results actually being shown. As you can see, we have 40% of people having said that they felt a 4, and 60% of people, jumping up from that 20%, feeling that they felt a 5 or better. So, yeah. We established connections. We established what we wanted. And how did we do it? Through a podcast. That was the fun part. That was the mental health part that helped us keep our connections. We found a way to keep being connected. The full impact of this COVID-19 pandemic on the mental health for children is uncertain. However, its impact on an already limited child-focused mental health workplace will indeed have a long-lasting impact on the health and well-being of children and their families. That was from Marcus D. Henderson. He's a psychiatrist. That connection piece, if we can start establishing our own connections now, the child workforce that is hurt by this COVID-19 pandemic is going to become better because we are better. So if we keep studying it and we keep focusing on it and we know what we need, we're going to help mental health everywhere. It takes one team to help another. So now that we had the creation, we figured out we were happier. We figured out we actually were having fun. The podcasts weren't just a project. They were a fun idea that we had all together. Teens need a safety system. And that creation inspired us to be each other's safety system. I was able to meet with my friends at an aquarium with masks on. We were able to talk about that. We were able to meet in person and do podcasts. I was able to edit the podcast at an actual radio station, which was amazing. Life felt like it was getting back to normal, and I think the podcast really helped. So after editing, publishing, and a lot of bagels as I edited because I could not eat on an empty stomach. Edit on an empty stomach. We figured out. Oh, I went up. That's fine. Okay, well, that's fine. Many students end up taking several Mindbody courses in addition to other department fitness and recreation classes for a multidimensional approach to health and well-being. These courses foster community and belonging while contextualizing self-care within students' busy college schedules and the duration of a semester-long class allows for deep learning and accountability as students invest time and effort for a grade. It's just another example of a support system we can have for each other. We can create classes. As long as we keep ourselves aware, then everyone else will be aware. So we became each other's support system, whether it be in person or whether it be digital. We made sure that we were keeping each other happy, keeping fun topics among us, and keeping ways to stay positive in something so dark. So that was how I built my own special little corner from Nerds Corner. So what did I actually get out of this, is the real question. Let's take a look. The initial message was that I wanted people to be aware that teens may not be getting the same benefits to their mental health with online friendships. But I found a new message during this project, and it became, no matter what platform you have or use, anyone can use that connection that we establish. Mental health needs to be spared through whatever means. Reach out. It's worth it. So I leave you guys with this. Where would you have been without them? Thank you.
What questions do you have for Alice about her project?
Sarah McCartney.
Are you going to continue with the podcast after senior seminar because you believed it was that beneficial?
I am going to continue working on Nerds Corner for as long as I can. I hope to keep it alive. I hope to be able to still use the radio station. And I got a thumbs up. Thanks, Mom. And I hope to be able to get my friends together and keep us, even though we're moving to different states for college, keep us together. Yes?
What are some of the examples of things that you guys talk about on the podcast?
Okay, so the first one, so some of the things we talked about was, as you can tell by the title of Nerds Corner, we are huge nerds, was Dungeons and Dragons. We've talked about people who have played the game versus people who want to play the game versus people who DM the game, which is Dungeon Master for anybody who doesn't know. We talked about Star Wars, some of their upcoming shows that they've released, some of the shows that they're going to release, their characters in it. We've talked about Harry Potter, and we've also talked about, I believe we talked about Bad Batch as well, the new show. Like, we're reviewing it. It's pretty much a review as well. So.
Thank you.
Now into the bathroom.
Yep.